Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you too can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. I hope you're having a really great day today. I know I am. I'm so excited about our guest today. She is a dear friend of mine, and we reconnected after having been separated, I think, because of the last couple of years have been a little crazy. But Kaitlyn Rizza is just a high vibe energy healer, motivational speaker, certified intenSati leader. Did I say that right?
intenSati.
intenSati leader, creator of Soul Aligned Reiki, published poet. I didn't know that. And a spiritual wellness coach who empowers kids and adults get back into alignment, step into their power, and create a life of balance, prosperity, and joy. Using a unique combination of energy healing and just her soul. I mean, I'm telling you, she is so unique. And her science-backed approach and intentional movement, she can help you embody positivity, become a conscious co-creator of your reality, and go from worrier to warrior. And as a mom of three, yes, she has three beautiful, strong-willed girls, Kaitlyn knows the value and importance of finding balance, taking charge of your emotions, and protecting your energy to shift from striving to surviving to thriving. Oh my God, I love this. So stealing some of it. No, I'm only kidding.
Go for it.
How are you?
I'm so well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. You look so sparkly and happy and shiny and smiley.
Thank you.
What's been going on, my girl? I love what you do. Your Soul Aligned Worrier is such a great company. Tell us a little bit about what your journey was to get to here, because I know you have a beautiful one.
Oh yeah, there's always a story, you know,
Yeah.
and I've got quite a story. So when I was younger, I started off. This all really starts when I was about 13 years old. My family had a series of unfortunate incidences, and we ended up losing our house. So I started in from leaving my school that I was in, my comfort zone, my safe space,
Sure.
and moving into a big space of uncertainty. And it really affected the way that I viewed the world. I didn't feel like I was in control or in charge of anything that was
Sure.
going on, you
Sure.
know? And it was at a specific point in my life where everything was changing as it was in my body, with my hormones and all that. So feeling just completely out of control and somewhat out of touch. I lost, my friendships. I wasn't connected with my friends anymore. And I didn't know where to go or what to do. So I've leveraged that, and I've turned that into something to drive me to help to create this space for people to feel empowered, to feel like they can take charge of their life.
Because you didn't feel in charge and you took charge of your life. So that I always refer to as a pivotal point in your life where you have a pivot choice. You have some tragedy, some challenges, some overwhelming challenges. Sometimes they're small challenges. In this case, it was overwhelming probably with all the changes going on in your life, in your body, in your everything, probably in your mind too, because I remember those days.
Yeah.
And you had an option. You had a choice to either stay where you were or make a change and take it as an opportunity. You chose to take it as an opportunity. Why?
Well, because you know what? I was in such a dark space that I didn't want to even go on anymore. And I realized I'm going to have to go on. And so I might as well try to make the best of what I've got.
And how horrible would it have been for us not to have you in this world if you had chosen not to go on, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful gift to have that perspective. And that's the way that I look at it now, is that I was blessed with the opportunity to gain perspective.
Yes, opportunity.
Yes. And that, honestly, that's the biggest thing for me is taking the situations that we're put in and seeking the opportunity in it. And, it's finding the silver lining in every cloud, and not trying to be like toxic positivity, but for all intents and purposes, everything happens. I believe everything happens for a reason.
Oh, without a doubt. No doubt at all. And I like to refer to it as changing our lens. We have an opportunity. We could sit there and be wallowing, and that's okay. If that's what you choose, you could be stuck. That's okay. If that's what you choose, maybe that's what you need at that particular time. But when you choose to change your lens and find the joy, find the positivity, find something joyous in what's happening, And most of the time, it's a lesson. It's an opportunity for you to learn a lesson about yourself. It's an opportunity to challenge yourself and to get out of your comfort zone. And our listeners here know that I feel more comfortable being uncomfortable than I do being comfortable. And it's great because I know I'm learning. I know I'm growing. I know I'm having
growth.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like in the discomfort is where we find growth. Yeah. And, a flower doesn't bloom, just on the ground. It blooms under the ground, in the dirt, and it has to push its way through.
Yes.
I know. I love the language that you use also because it's this like same. Yes. I love the idea of changing the lens because that's really what it is. We're finding a way to see the good, see the positive, see the opportunity in what we're in. And what you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on all the bad things that are happening, you can turn around and look around and find all of the bad things. But when you find something good, when you find a piece or a bit of light in the darkness, and you focus on that light, it'll start to grow brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yes. And you're actually drawn to it like a moth to the flame. Yes. See, I told you, it's sister. But that push through the ground, push through the dirt to come up. Look at how beautiful it goes into as a flower, and then it blossoms. And that's what happens to us when we push through our challenges and we grow, we blossom, and we're better for it. And we look back, and even though we don't enjoy the challenges sometimes and we don't enjoy the struggles sometimes, on the other side, looking back, I'm so grateful for some of these challenges that I had. It's like, okay, all right. So I learned from it. And that's the takeaway for me is, are you learning from it? Because if you're not, it's going to repeat.
Absolutely. And it's going to hit harder the next time around.
Oh.
It's not going to be just like a little like, oh, you didn't learn it. Here's another little. It's going to go every time. It gets harder and harder until you're hit so hard that you're like, okay, message received.
Yes. I actually wrote that in my book that I was, I got the nudges, I got the whispers, I got the little, then all of a sudden I got like the tap on the shoulder, and then I got the punch in the shoulder. And then basically I got punched in the face and run over by a truck and then backed up by the truck. And then I got it. It took me a while, but I never want to have to wait that long to notice what message is being sent to me. So I try to get it at the whispers and the nudges. It's less painful.
Yes.
And it's easier to pivot. So it's like the car at the top of a hill. If the car starts rolling down the hill, it's gaining momentum, right? Yeah. And as it gains momentum, how easy would it be to stop? It's going to get harder as it gains that momentum. So if we can stop it at the top of the hill, we have a better chance.
Absolutely.
Better chance at stopping it and changing and shifting and moving into a different direction. So you know that I'm a success coach. You're
best.
Thanks. You're a spiritual wellness coach. So tell us, what is a spiritual wellness coach other than fabulous?
Well, it's funny because using your metaphor, it's finding the parking brake and pulling it up before we head all the way downhill. And it's finding a way to shift and pivot and turn the wheel so that we can head on path that we feel that we are in control of, in charge of. That's basically what I do is I guide people in finding a holistic approach to creating a better life for themselves.
Let me stop you right there because you use a term I use, but I want to make sure my listeners our listeners understand. Holistic.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that. It's the whole, everything about you, not one room in the house. It's the whole house, right?
Whole house.
Whole person.
Mind, body, spirit. Everything that, it puts everything together in one. We are moving our bodies. We are moving our minds. We are moving our energy. We have these energy systems within our bodies, ancient technology, acupuncture, massage, Reiki.
Cupping.
I do Reiki. Cupping.
You do Reiki,
I do Reiki.
Yes.
And so all of these energy systems, they are working with this vital life force that moves through us and animates us. There's a difference between someone who is alive and not alive. The bodies are there, but there's an animation that creates us and makes us who we are.
Which I refer to as a vibration.
The vibration, exactly. And it's measurable. These are frequencies that are measurable.
Yes.
So we take an approach where we incorporate mindset, we incorporate movement, incorporate energy, and we put it all together to just create our best lives
and empower them.
Empowering. It's a buzzword nowadays, but it really is when
it's so overworked. It's so overused, but it really is the accurate word to feel empowered is that you have the tools. And as coaches, we really want to empower you. We want to give you the tools you need in order to do it when we're not there.
That's it. And I just came from a meeting with a coaching client, and I was, she's a new client. Awesome, wonderful person. But like a basis of the first meeting is basically saying, look, you have a toolbox. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the tools, see what you got, see what things you know. Because, sometimes you got tools in there, you're like, you don't even know what they're for. We're going to identify them, and we're going to add to that toolbox so that you can use these tools when I'm not around. The whole purpose is, honestly, I love you, but I don't want to be your coach forever.
No.
I'm trying to empower you to have the tools to dip into your toolbox and be like, okay, this is what I need.
Yes.
And it starts honestly with conversation beforehand, before we even meet for a session.
Yes.
And it's funny because as I was speaking with her, she was like, I do also do circles. I do moon circles and Reiki circles. And she came to a circle, and I taught her a little bit about working with our energy centers. Also, sometimes they're referred to as chakras. And she identified for one of her sisters something that was going on because of something that I said. And I'm like, you see that? You are already taking the tools and implementing them in your own life and sharing them with others. And that's what it's about. The impact, creating impact.
And that's how it spreads, it expands, because now we're paying it forward and helping other people. And that she's seeing it, you taught her well, my girl, you taught her well. Now we're both co-creators. We surround ourselves with co-creators. I know we'll be doing some things in the future together. So help us understand, what's it like being a conscious co-creator?
Well, you know what? Most of our thoughts, I think it's like 90% of our thoughts are on autopilot.
Yeah.
The 90% of the things that we do on a daily basis is just going through the motions. And so when you become a conscious co-creator, you are stepping into your power, but you're also stepping into a place where you're being mindful of your mindset. You are saying, okay, I'm not going to just go through the motions. You are turning off autopilot. You're taking the wheel, and you're the one, again, back to the metaphor, you're the one steering the car. Yeah. You're not putting it on cruise control for all intents and purposes. Yeah. And when you become a conscious co-creator, you become more aware of the things going on around you.
Which allows you to feel more what? In control.
Exactly, in control.
Because you actually are.
Because we are in control. Yes. We have the power.
Of ourselves. Yes. Of ourselves. And this is the difference, is our society looks outward. I say look inward. All of our success codes are right in here. All we have to do is look inward. And then if we want to see the change, we have to be the change we want to see. And that's by looking inward and learning how to embrace these energies that we have and embrace the power that we have and be who we are, genuine. That's what we really mean when we've overused the word being genuine. It's really being who we're meant to be, not trying to be what other people want us to be. I did that. Yes. I lost myself, found myself, will never allow someone to do that or anyone to do that. But I allowed it.
Yeah.
I allowed it.
That's the journey.
I allowed it.
And sometimes, like we just said,
I don't like it.
But sometimes you need to lose yourself in order to find your true self and be who you are and who you're meant to be. You can step into your power. Yeah. And
it was so confusing for such a long time, because I was like, where is she? I know this 18-year-old powerhouse who's unstoppable, who nothing was a challenge. It would be a challenge, but I take it straight on. And I was like, I want her back. I like her.
Yeah.
This one, not so much. And so now since, for the last 10 years, I've been back in embracing who I am and just being me, good, bad, ugly. Because we all have good, we all have bad, we all have ugly.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. It's okay. But we surround ourselves with raving fans.
Yeah.
Not because we want to hear what we want to hear, because my raving fans are unbelievably honest, and that's what I want. I want to hear that. If I want to hear something to be said to me that I want to hear, I could look in a mirror and do that. I don't need somebody else to tell me, right?
That's amazing. Yes.
But I really want to hear, do these pants look nice on you? And, my people, they will tell you, yeah, not so much.
Right. Well, I actually take that. I have a phrase for that approach, and I call it the buffalo method. So let me tell you, let me tell you a little bit about that very quickly.
Love it.
The buffalo method is, so in Colorado, there's an area of Colorado where the buffalo and the